We finished up Campus Notes last week, but we haven't got all the endings, so that's what we're going to focus on doing today. Where do we save? Is this the final save? We can go on to the next page? Okay. So yes, this should be interesting. Okay. Oh, great, that's how So, we were talking things over with Fuma, and he asked us which we preferred. Boobs or butt? Well, he actually honestly wasn't that, cool about it, actually. He, reduced two of the girls down to just their physical attribute, a single physical attribute, and then asked us to pick between them. Which was Kurumi-san's, chesticles, or Kozuki-san's butt, which I didn't realize we were even supposed to be oogling. But I guess that's what the jumper was all about, like the Fupa sweater was, I guess, supposed to be drawing attention to her butt. But Sungetsu, you're saying butt? Well, let's go with butt then. We are attracted to Kozuki-san. Last time when we did the true ending, we ended up picking Fuma. But then the game got kind of homophobic about it all. It said, ew. I did have an answer, deep down in my heart. It's a secret. Aw, Yuta, you're lame.
Hey, that's unfair.
Well then, what about you, Fuma?
Huh?
Is it that Haru girl? Is that the reason you tried so hard cracking the application? You didn't want her to forget you? Ah, understandable.
Hey, don't jump to conclusions. She's a friend from childhood. I don't want her to forget me, that's true, but it's not like that.
Really?
Stop. End of conversation.
You've started it.
Okay, let's think about those theories. We'll talk about stuff like that after IMA's fixed, okay?
Yeah. Okay, let's start with Kurumi-san's theory. And I am gonna have to get the guide up because, well, we needed a guide to get through this part in the first place. And I do not remember what the correct answers for this next bit are. Guides. 100% ending. Okay, got the guide up. Let's make you a little smaller so I can see everything that's going on. Okay. Adam Greatness. Starting with Kan-chan, right? Okay, what was the skip button? Let's check the options again. Skip mode is F. Press F to pay respects. The idea that it's not the people infected with IMA that have the problem, but the problem lies with us. The fact that IMA was in an environment in which to test and make Laplace more accurate. And then... what's the third choice? We aren't in our original world. I was going to say start over from the beginning, but then something crossed my mind. Starting over? Resetting? Ooh, the theme playing. Hey, Fuma, Kozuki-san mentioned that the inside of the H2 rockets was hollow, right?
Yeah, she did.
The areas that people weren't supposed to look at didn't have anything there, as if they weren't made from the start. But when the inside of the rocket was exposed, it was fixed back to normal when we weren't looking. Hey, Dusk of Neela, good to see you. Love you too. It's fixed back to normal when we weren't looking, as if it were reset. Isn't that similar to IMA, in the way people's memories gets reset every day? Our enemy, who claimed we knew too much, disappeared the moment he received critical damage. The people we talked to yesterday speak to us today as if they've never met us before. Of the group, you and I are probably the most used to that happening in our daily lives.
Wait. Hold on. Whoa. Wait. I think I know where this is going, but that's...
Yeah, we can't be certain yet, though. For the entire night, I thought about it. The idea was too crazy, but it had to be explored. if I was going to test it.
Is there anything I can do?
Thanks. I knew you'd say that. I'll message you tomorrow. The solution. I didn't think I could sleep. But once my doubts turned into conviction, I turned off like a light. When I woke up, I felt completely refreshed. First, I looked at my phone and checked the date on the calendar. Today, it was the 21st of July, 7:45 a.m. I opened my address book and made a phone call. I was sure she would be awake. If my theory was right, this phone call would be ignored. But
Morning, dear.
I was wrong. She picked up immediately. Morning, Mom.
What's the matter? You sound down.
It's nothing. I mentioned this last time, but I've noticed that when I say the word mom, I say it very Australian. Like I drop the R. It's very clear that I'm saying the U. It's like mum. It's like very short. I don't draw it out like you Americans do. Since we didn't know when or how IMA spread, we couldn't make contact with people we cared about.
What?
When did that rule come up? That was never established. That's what Bertha's Nice decided in spring. It feels like that should have been, like, mentioned back then. Why are you mentioning it now after the fact? So, once I called Mom and knew that she was alright and that she remembered me, I hadn't called her since. I knew my parents were easygoing, but come to think of it, that meant they hadn't called me for 2 months either. That's kind of sad. Wait, I have better things to think of now. If Mom had taken the phone, that meant something was up. If Mom had taken the phone... Again, still not sure what that... If Mom had picked up the phone? I think that must be what it means, like, must be picked up, not taken. But that shouldn't be, if I was really talking to my mom. How should I ask my question? Thoughts ran through my head when she said,
Hey, did something happen to you? It's strange that you would call 2 days in a row. Are you homesick?
2 days in a row? Did you say 2 days? Did I call you yesterday?
What are you saying? You're the one that called me. Mom isn't that forgetful.
This really wasn't what I expected. This meant I was the one acting strange. Was my memory affected too? No, nothing was wrong. It was unexpected. This still proved my theory right. Before I solidified my conclusion, however, I had to try something else. Sorry, Mom. I'm gonna hang up now.
Huh? Wait, you...
I hung up without waiting for her to finish her sentence. I checked the history on my phone. The last time I had called her was the 15th of May. Since then, I hadn't called her. Not even once till the 21st of July. Sorry about that. For a second there I thought I was going to sneeze. Still might sneeze. So I'll apologize in advance if I do. There was a public phone nearby the dorms, but I didn't use it. I double-checked my history and then called her again.
What's the matter?
Mom, can you tell me what the date is today?
You're a funny one, you know. Did you forget how to read the calendar?
I swallowed, tensing. If my theory was right...
It's the 16th of May today.
Bingo. Broke out in a smile. My time and Mum's time were running differently. After confirming the first piece of evidence to my theory by calling Mum, I headed towards the Okoshi Community Center. I had to meet a certain person here, collect my second piece of evidence. Boomer was collecting the third piece right now. But how should I talk to him? I stared at the signboard that read, Yurinoki Kindergarten. Even though I could be forgotten tomorrow, it wasn't a good idea for a grown man to walk into a place like this without an appointment. Yep, bad idea. It was a very small problem compared to what we were facing right now, and I never thought I would hesitate here. But then...
Hey, Yuta! Hey!
I was saved by an invitation hollered from the playground. Hi, you remembered me. I smiled, and Takuma-kun nodded proudly.
Yeah, I promised I would. Of course I remember.
I wanted to rejoice in our reunion, but decided it was better to do what I came for before I was sent away by someone in authority. Oh boy. Takuma-kun, can I ask if you own a mobile phone? A smartphone or a flip phone? Anything is fine.
Huh? What are you saying, Yuta? Of course I don't.
Yeah, I thought so. Alright, that was my second piece of evidence right there.
Mom and Dad don't lend me their phones to play with. I bet they have a lot of games inside. It's so unfair.
If I see you the next time, you could borrow mine for a while.
Really? Yay!
Yuta, this looks terrible. This really looks like you're trying to entice this child with a phone.
You look happy too, Yuta. Why?
Because I got to see you again. Yuta, what the fuck? Takuma-kun looks surprised for a moment, but then he's...
Fuck, I hate myself.
Wow. Way to introduce yourself with your own Ara Ara. Electo, but good to see you here. But everyone, let me give a shout out to you, Electo, because tomorrow, well, I say tomorrow, yeah, tomorrow evening, hang on, whoop, and I knocked my microphone over, sorry about that, there we go. I'm supposed to be playing Portal 2 with Electo. So, go give her a follow. And you'll be able to see me bully Electo while she plays through Portal 2. Actually, I'm not sure if I have a uwu from you, Electo. Let me try out the uwu command. You're very tired? Well, I'm not surprised. Are you, what day is it for you? It's still Friday for you. I think that was Small Honey Bat. Yeah, it was. Takuma-kun looked surprised for a moment, but then he scratched his cheek shyly with a smile.
Oh, hello there. Is he your friend, Takuma-kun? Yeah!
The kindergarten teacher gave me a small nod, so I nodded back. See you again, Takuma-kun.
Come again, Yuta.
I nodded and waved at Takuma-kun. It's Saturday and you gotta be up for work soon? Oh boy. That sucks. I mean, I knew you were working Saturday. I assumed it was later. I thought it was still Friday for you. Because this is happening because someone fucked up for some reason, right? You weren't supposed to be working today, but... I pondered on the two pieces of evidence as I walked towards the Hirasuna Community Center. My phone buzzed. That was fast. It was a short message from Fuma. What? You gotta be in at 7 a.m. and it's... What are you doing up at 1 a.m.? You're crazy. Get some sleep. You've still got... What, 6 hours? Oh no, you gotta be in there, so you gotta wake up. So you could get, what, maybe like 3 hours if you got to sleep right now? Before you had to get up again? Or are you just gonna stay up the entire time? Are you sure you're not gonna be too... You wanted to say hi. Well, okay, you've said hi. Go to bed. Go to bed, you big dummy. You sure not gonna be too tired for the Saturday stream? Because we can put it off if you're gonna be too tired. Hey, Leonic. How you doing? How's your week been? Leonic, how's your Friday been? Your Saturday is starting, I think. Anyway, how's your weekend gonna go? Do you have any plans? Pretty boring? It was a short message from Fuma. I couldn't go to Akihabara. The lion. The electric lion. And of course, Sungatz is the sun fairy. And now, I had the third piece of evidence to back up my theory. I've got spare time on my hands. I didn't think I would see Takuma-kun before Fuma came back. I had to wait for him before I explained everything to everybody. Now, what should I do? Ooh, this is different. I think we went to the train station last time, but I'm guessing this is because we picked Shion and her bud. You have to keep updated because you may or may not have to work then too. Oh my god, Electo. Your life is hell. The sooner you get out of there, the better. Like, this whole asthma situation really will be doing you a favor, I think. I looked around and felt someone watching me. It was from the second floor of the Hirasuna Community Center. If you gotta work 12 days straight, you're gonna punch somebody? Yeah. That's ridiculous. I had a pretty good idea who it was, but instead of doing the expected, I decided to turn around and start walking away.
Hey!
Just as I thought, Kozuki-san yelled out and ran toward me to catch up. Wait, she ran towards you from the second floor? That's impressive.
Kiriya-kun, wait!
She grabbed hold of my arm and caught her breath. And the ones who messed up aren't even getting the brunt of the punishment? It makes no sense? God damn it. Electo, your life really sucks at the moment. I do not envy you. Are you alright, Kozuki-san? I swallowed a laugh, and she glared at me while she fixed her beret that had gone askew. Yes. Go to sleep, go to sleep. Get some sleep before work. You crazy.
If you hadn't...
Oh my god, my voice just broke. Hang on, give me a second. Bye, Electo. I'll give you another shout out as you go. Electo's a very good friend of mine. Dying live on stream. Yep. Dying on my birthday, too. So sad. So dedicated to the grind.
If you had noticed me, please say hello. Or you could have just smiled a little, or given me a wave. It's so mean that you ignored me entirely.
Then why didn't you say hello, Kozuki-san?
That's because...
Oh, never mind. You don't have to say it. I know. You said, we'll all meet tomorrow and stop Kurumi-san from coming with us. After doing that, you couldn't admit that you were too curious to leave us alone, could you? But if it was a coincidence that we somehow bumped into each other, and I said hello to you first, you wouldn't have been in the wrong, would you?
I'm sorry. You're right. It was shallow of me. But I have to say, you're uncharacteristically mean today, Kiriya-kun.
And you're uncharacteristically meek today, Kozuki-san.
Am I? I didn't think I was behaving any different from the other day. Any other day. Anyway, now that I've reached out to you, there's nothing more I can do. I can only admit I was in the wrong and make the most of this situation. We won't talk about IMA or Laplace to keep things fair, okay?
Alright, no problem with me. Instead of standing here and talking, why don't we chat over some lunch?
To think that you'd extend an invitation to me. That was unexpected.
I haven't eaten anything since this morning.
I see. Alright, let's go. Do you have any idea where you want to go?
It's not someplace flashy. We were about to walk off together. Kozuki-san stopped in her tracks and winced. What's the matter?
It's nothing. Don't worry.
It can't be nothing. You look like you're in pain. Kozuki-san stayed silent for a while, but when she realized I wasn't going to let this slide, she caved up and confessed.
When I ran down the stairs just now, I sprained my ankle a little. Just a little, honest. It's not hurt or anything.
I turned around to face my back to her and squatted down. Here. I turned around to face my back at her. It's a very weird way of saying I turned my back to her.
What?
I'll carry you.
I'm not a child.
You sprained your ankle running after me. I should do this. I thought you would refuse, but surprisingly, Kozuki-san climbed on my back.
Kirya-kun, are you able?
Translation's finding the most roundabout ways to phrase things, yes. It's such a mechanical way. I turned around to face my back to her. That might make sense in Japanese, but in English, it's damn near, like, gibberish. You don't face your back to something, because your face is forward. Also, what is Kirya-kun, are you able? Like, yes, he's able. He's able to do lots of things. Oh, barely. Can he?
So honest. I don't mind that, though.
I was staggering, but I was still able to move forward slowly. Anything is possible if you put yourself to it. If you put yourself to it. If you put yourself into it? Is he able? Yes.
Leonic,
Are you able? It was unfortunate, however, that I had put in so much effort carrying her that I wasn't able to enjoy the feel of her on my back. Nah, don't like that. Don't like that. She's wounded, man. Don't talk about trying to enjoy the feel of her on your back. No, I don't like that.
thanks, Kirya-kun.
I think there's something weird about shortening the feeling of her against your back to the feel of her. It's like you're feeling her up or something using your back.
You know, I actually lied a bit.
About your ankle?
No. Then I'm acting no different from any other day. Because I probably am. I'm the oldest amongst Bertha's knights, right? Because of that, I thought I should be strong and lead everybody. I know it sounds unlike me, but even I think about things like that. But when we're alone, I didn't want to take that position. Sometimes it's okay to have someone else make the decisions, isn't it? When you ignored me just now, I was actually a little happy about it. Wait, I didn't mean it in a weird way.
Oh, come to think of it, Kozuki-san did have masochistic tendencies. Is she? I don't remember learning that. I was totally convinced, but I didn't say anything because I figured that would be Fuma's job to say something about it. I was fortunate that I couldn't see her face. But maybe I could tease her a little today. Maybe I could crack that cool exterior of hers by doing so.
Kirya-kun, where are you taking me?
Kozuki-san asked as she rode on my back. It's a secret.
When are you going to put me down?
I'm not telling you.
Kirya-kun, do you like me?
That's a secret too. Kozuki-san muttered
I knew you'd say that.
in my ear and held on to me a little more tightly.
Kirya-kun, I'll never forget what happened today.
Neither will I. And we got the achievement Secretive, which I assume is the achievement for choosing a Poopa Sweater. Poopa Sweater Butt Girl. I spent an enjoyable time with Kozuki-san before heading toward the station to wait for Fuma. So it's still going to be Fuma that gets disintegrated. Well, that's a shame. I thought we would see, like, the person we picked for the romance choice get disintegrated each time. Nico. I almost gave up waiting for him.
Hey, Yuta!
Fuma finally appeared, waving at me from behind the gates. He was so loud. But now that he was back, there would be more information, like how far he was able to travel, and what it was like outside. Silentius, would tell Morius everything at some point. Okay, we looked this up last week. What these names are in reference to is the book Run Milos, which is a very famous book in Japanese literature by Osamu Dazai. And I think it would be like a reference pretty much any Japanese person would get, because Run Milos is like one of those ones that they assign to you in like school. It's like a very like well-read story. So those names would be like immediately obvious to pretty much any Japanese person. You could punch me later if you wanted to, but now IMA was coming to an end, and we had gathered enough evidence. Fuma took out his pass case to press his electronic ticket on the gate, and froze. Not enough credit, maybe? But then, I realized something was wrong. It wasn't just Fuma that froze on the spot. Everyone around him, even the electronic clock above, had stopped. The world was engulfed in silence. Hang on, I'm just gonna move the mic for a sec. Okay, that should be a little more comfortable. Oh no! I hurried outside. It was met with bright caution tape, spelling, "Keep out." The tape circled the area like a barrier. I had nowhere to run. The tape looked as if it was pasted on air. It created a yellow web, solid as iron, stopping me from going anywhere. I'm not too loud, am I? I just noticed that my microphone's peaking even higher than usual when I really get into it. Shout out if I'm blowing out the mic or anything. Shit. Fuma, can you hear me? Fuma, sounds fine to you? Okay, all good. I shouted desperately, but Fuma remains frozen by the gates. You're deaf now? Well, good for you, Sangatsu. I had theorized this could happen in this world, but I didn't think it would happen. Not at this time and moment. Even got a badge for it. You goober. I had a pretty good idea what had angered our enemy. Bertha's Knights weren't allowed outside Tsukuba grounds. We shouldn't have used our mobile phones to contact one another. Those devices were already hacked by the person that trapped us inside. Fuma didn't know Takuma-kun, so I had asked him to investigate the TX. Maybe I should have done that instead. Had I moved too quickly? Not sure what the TX is, but obviously it means like the barrier or something. No, I hadn't told anybody what I had realized yet. I had to get out of here and tell them what IMA and Laplace really was.
What you're doing is useless.
A metallic voice spoke out to me while I pounded my fists against the caution tape. I turned around to see the silver-haired girl I had seen ages before. You weren't a dream after all. Everything began with you and ends with you, doesn't it?
That is not quite accurate, Yuta Kiriya. That day, you met Yonku Yukimaru. Or should I say, you met KOG, who had activated her in emergency mode to get away from me. See, this is all the weird shit where there's all these extra characters and stuff that are just kind of mentioned in passing. Like, Yonku Yukimaru. We never meet her again other than the person, like, that one time right at the beginning of the game. And, like, it's like, she's not important, I guess? Like, I guess technically she's the normal person that's in this robot body, but as you were about to find out, Nico is actually in this body. And why is Nico called Nico? I don't fucking know. There's a lot of, like, exposition dump here at the end, and it's like, why did you not introduce any of this earlier so we had more time to think about it and digest it and get to know some of these characters? Instead, it was mostly about getting to know the girls, and then all the other shit was just kind of tacked on at the end. Which is fine, but just don't tack the stuff on the end on, then, you know, if you just want to...
make it about getting to know the girls. You don't need to explain everything if you don't want to.
My name is Nico. I am borrowing Yonku Yukimaru's body and AI structure.
They wanted a romance VN, but decided at the end it might be boring, so they threw in some random bullshit. Yeah, but it's also like, it's not even that in-depth for a romance. I don't understand really at all what they were going for. I don't think they understood what they were going for, really.
Did they think they had an interesting sci-fi plot?
Because they don't.
It's kind of like they just had...
They wanted to make a VN, but they didn't have any ideas for it, so they just kind of went ahead with it anyway.
Like, they didn't fail. It's not terrible.
But it also doesn't feel very inspired. It doesn't feel like there was anyone at any point in the project who really had a true vision for this game. What are you saying?
Think of me as a different personality from the girl you met in May. Although we share the same body, that should suffice. I would have preferred to meet you with a different body to avoid confusion. But my avatar in this world has been destroyed by Mitsuru Sanzanon. This is my only choice.
You mean yesterday's? The man's cold but gentle face flashed across my mind.
Yes. So it is the third time we meet in actuality.
We got attacked yesterday, but then Mitsuru, like, fucking broke this man's spine with like a kick and threw him into a lake. And we just kind of stood there and let it happen. But apparently that was Nico inside that man's body. And now that man is inside this little... I'm not going to finish that sentence because that was going to come out very poorly. But
I almost made the same mistake twice.
But that guy, Nico, I guess, is now inside this brain. Or... yeah. Don't look at me like that, you two.
If destroyed objects are forcefully respawned, it could cause a diminishing in accuracy, you see. In this world, the H2 rocket has been fixed. Any other irregularities would have caused damage on an irreparable scale. You've caused enough trouble already.
Are you going to fix me, then?
No. Now that you've come this far, there is no need for me to stick to Mizuki Shianbashi's rules. Mizuki Shianbashi's rules.
See, there's all these names like Mizuki Shianbashi, Aika, what's the other one? Mitsuru Sanzanon. It's like, why did you add all these extra names of these characters who barely appear in this story? We never get to really know them. I don't understand really what's going... Like, I understand, like, the basics of it, but I don't understand their motivations. I don't understand them as characters. So, like, I don't know, just keep them out of it. Just cut down on the amount of characters you had in this game. Especially because half the characters, like the gentleman who Nico was in before, he doesn't get a picture. So just cut him out. If you can't afford to create artwork for him, just don't have him. Don't expect me to, like, remember important characters if you can't even be bothered to give them artwork. If I am victorious despite all these irregularities, Laplace's credibility will be further proved. Mizuki Shianbashi. That was probably the same Mizuki-chan who Kozuki-san talked about. But what rules?
If I tell you, that would break the game.
Game? Game? You stuck us in this world and toyed with us. And you call that a game?
And yet, the conclusion you've come to is not far from the truth, is it, Yuta Kiriha?
See, this is so cool. This would have been so good if they did the meta thing and realized that they were within a dumb visual novel. They were within a game. But they don't. They chicken out at the last second. Could have been okay if you'd done the meta thing. At least involve more of the game's mechanics in this world.
Tell me your answer. If you want to leave this place, you have no other choice.
This place? As in this station? Or this world?
Whichever, if you answer correctly.
I didn't create my theory to present it to this thing. It was made to overthrow it, not entertain it. But fine, I will. If I got fixed here, or they didn't know what that entailed, I was pretty sure it was nothing good. It would mean I wouldn't be able to return to the others. I had to do my best to raise my chances of survival, just to get back to everyone else. I faced Nico and began to present the conclusion I had come to. Everything is centered around Laplace. IMA was a byproduct.
And?
Laplace is an application that foresees the future, and it is done through sampling people's memories through their phones. The system is similar to induction. By compiling past memories, it estimates what happens in the future, n+1 days later. And when it reads memories, Laplace excludes data that could possibly affect its accuracy to preserve its reliability. Of course, that isn't possible just by using mobile phones. There has to be a separate master machine assisting the system somewhere.
I don't like the way that last bit of the sentence reads. Assisting the system somewhere? I feel like that doesn't flow very naturally. I'd rewrite that if I was the editor. It's very heavy on the S noises and doesn't sound natural.
I'm guessing the phones are used as GPS systems that tells the master where the people are, and for identification. The perimeter marks the area the master machine is able to cover.
How did you figure that out?
When Aika-san lost her phone, she remembered me until I gave it back to her. Takuma-kun didn't forget me because he never owned a phone in the first place. His parents never lent him theirs either.
Then what about your group? You all own phones, but yet are able to retain your memories.
That's where we're an exception. I'm guessing that no matter what we key into Laplace, we would never get an accurate result. We won't know what grades Fumu will get, and we won't know what when Kozuki-san will visit the botanical garden. That's why Laplace causes IMA. Nobody would try to foresee a future about something they don't remember about. If nobody...
See, this is so weird. It's such a... Like, I understand the mechanics of it. I don't understand the motivations of it. Why would you go to all of this trouble? Sorry for bumping the table. Why would you go to all of this trouble? Well, yeah, again, like, they're gonna explain it, but I still don't get it. I still don't get the point of any of this.
If nobody asks, there isn't a wrong answer. Omitting difficult questions is an effective method of raising accuracy rates.
How are you sure that you are all the exceptions? Perhaps you are simply conceited to think so.
I think it was unexpected for you, too, to have that application installed on our phones. You have an enemy other than us, and that enemy is our ally, who tried to help us by making us an exception. Nico didn't answer, but didn't deny it either. This is the part that's most unbelievable, yet the most inevitable. If Laplace is made to foresee the future, then it would be natural for the maker to use it to simulate how it would spread and affect the future, don't you think? That prediction would be nothing like guessing an individual event happening tomorrow. It would be a large calculation affecting every living person within the affected area.
Affecting every person living within the affected area. Again, you're using affect twice in the same sentence.
Within the same clause, even. If I were to borrow Kozuki-san's words, the world exists only from observation. The scenery, the people, the events, everything. Every single person observing this world shapes it, and our memories are records of how things are. You compounded all of that to create a fake world so you could simulate how Laplace would spread. That's why things that have never been seen by the affected people within the perimeter cannot be made, like the inside of the H2 rocket. The further people move away from the border, the less resolution there is. Eventually, there is only a fog that people cannot pass through. That's probably what Fuma saw when he rode the Tsukuba Express. Oh, that must be the TX, Tsukuba Express. And couldn't go any further. It would have been the same even if he used a bus or rode a bicycle. Or rode a bicycle. Ride a bicycle. And we are probably the exceptions because we are not simulated people, but the real thing. This world is a simulation, a stage made to play out the possibilities of the future. To us, it's the end of July, but in the real world, not even 24 hours have passed. And you are probably the maker of Laplace, or the messenger. That's my theory. How accurate is that? I asked, confident I was right. Without Kurumi-san, Togi-san, and Kozuki-san's theory, I never would have come to this answer. Each of their thoughts acted as a guide to bring me to the truth. In honesty, I didn't want to believe that the past 2 months were fake, and it was all a simulation.
In honesty? I think you mean in all honesty.
But everyone in Bertha's Nights were real. They are all real people that had got caught up in this simulated world like me. That was what kept me strong. Nico stayed silent for a while, then began to clap slowly and softly.
Congratulations. You only made 2 small errors in your analysis. But in all, that was a pass.
I let out a breath. I was confident I was right, but maybe somewhere, I was hoping I was wrong. Can you tell me what I got wrong?
Firstly, I am not the maker of Laplace. I am Laplace itself.
Itself?
Yonku Yukimaru, a humanoid, found an abandoned AI in her database one day. Her sibling that never made it to completion. A failure during the development process. That is who I am. My dear lonely sister decided to resurrect me, to hold a conversation with me.
See, this is really where it gets weird. It's like, why am I learning about Yonku Yukimaru when we're never going to meet her in this game? Like, we meet her once, right, very briefly at the very beginning of the game, just as to set things running. But, like, why do I need to learn her motivations of, like, being a lonely android who wanted to make a friend is what created... Like, it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't, like, really tie into Nico's motivations or anything.
And after several tries, an idea struck her. She would use a different abandonment project to embed me a soul.
Why did the android believe in souls?
The abandoned project was called Laplace. It was made to sample humans, understand them, and estimate what movements they would do next. It was considered immoral to create a device that meddled with the human heart.
Not meddling with the human heart, meddling with the human brain, maybe.
So the project never came to fruition. The developer left the university in despair. Yonku Yukimaru combined me and Laplace, and used our AI structure, KOG, to execute us. I gained intelligence, and now I have decided to devote myself to Laplace. Its technology isn't something to be hidden away, forgotten. I am going to release Laplace to the world the way Yukimaru Yonku awakened me.
You took your glasses off for a second, and Nico looked like a muscled ogre girl with hollowed out eyes with blood. Bit of a shock. Oh, because of the... Actually, I don't even know what that is on her face. Like, it's some kind of kanji, I guess, but that doesn't really get explained either. Or why there's a robot girl in the first place. That also doesn't get explained. We're just supposed to accept that androids exist in this world. Yeah. Oh wait, was the muscles like her hair? Is that what made her look muscly? Like these lines here look like they could be kind of like giant muscles.
according to my simulation, I have come to the conclusion that even if there are a few irregularities, that place will be accepted in this current society.
Yeah, and the blue was like the gaps between the body and arms. Ah, I see. Yeah, okay, I see it now. Oh yeah, I can see it. Like, I'm like crossing my eyes to make her more blurry. And yeah, I can see what you're seeing now. Oh, with the purple bits like the horns to make her an ogre? Although I guess I'm thinking of like an oni, like a Japanese ogre. Everything goes super blurry with that glasses. I didn't know you wore glasses, but yeah, that's cool. You're a Magane, Tangetsu.
A large-breasted sun fairy Magane.
That place will be accepted in this current society.
If I continue my calculations, the borders will continue to widen, and soon it will cover the entire country.
Nico had stayed expressionless all this time, but now looked ecstatic, unbefitting for her young face. What's my second mistake?
Ah, it's a very minor mistake, really. Hey, Peter! Hi, everyone! Welcome in,
Matthew? Welcome in, Matthew. Fresh meat. What the Kyle?
Hi, everyone.
Didn't mean to scroll the game, but yes, welcome in, welcome in. And Peter, thank you for the raid. How is your stream going? What were you doing? Let's go over here. Let's give you a regular shout out first, so I can see what you were playing. Random gorilla stream. Gorilla. Barista Simulator. Oh, okay. And let's do also like a regular shout out. It was interesting. Well, yeah, tell me more about it. Unless you need to raid and run, of course. You know, I know how tiring streams can be. If you need to raid and run, feel free to. I can always handle things from here. Real Barista rates Barista Simulator. Oh, are you a real barista, Peter? Making coffee IRL is easier? Oh. Fancy. You used to be. Oh, okay. Oh, let me head over to just chatting so everyone can see what my PNG tuber looks like. It was your first job. Oh, okay. How's the visual novel so far? Well, we actually finished it up last week, and now we're doing the alternate routes. So we're picking a different girl and seeing what the different romance endings are each time. So we're going through the true ending right now, but then we'll be skipping through as we go through the other routes. But yeah, it's going well. Actually, I say it's going well. I have a lot of problems with this visual novel. Let's say I feel like no one quite had a clear vision as to what they wanted to do, and the ending kind of falls apart a bit. Like, it makes mechanical sense, it doesn't make emotional sense. Does that make sense? I should say sense more often.
Ah, it's a very minor mistake, really. You believed that you 5 were the irregularities of this world, but in truth, it was only you, and the other 4 are what I provided to assist you in your theory.
So it was mid. Yeah. The moment I heard that, I felt darkness surround me. You're lying.
You could believe that, if you want to. To you, everything is a lie anyway.
You're lying. You're lying, you're lying. I could only repeat myself. Everything I had believed was beginning to crumble away.
Look at your friend over there. The fact he is frozen is proof enough that he is part of my calculation.
Oh, am I? Thank you for telling me that, Peter. You are absolutely correct, and it is not the first time I've done that before. I sometimes bring the game up, and forget to change scenes. You're gonna head out? Okay. Thank you so much again for the raid, Peter. And it's lovely to have all your chatters in here. Lovely to meet everyone. And yeah, see you around. You thought I was making my own story. Sorry, Sungats. Not yet. Well, maybe we'll do some chat GPT after we finish this story, depending on how quickly we get through this. Look at your friend over there. The fact he is frozen is proof enough that he's part of my calculation. If I wanted to, I could even do this. Nico said, and stretched a hand out towards Fuma. No! I lunged forward at Nico, but my hands went straight through her. Oh no, not Fuma. He was our favorite character. That time he was kind of homophobic to us. That other time when he reduced 2 of the female characters to just a single physical attribute and then asked us to pick between those attributes. As Fuma dissolved into a million pieces. Like the fuzz of static noise. No. I cannot understand you. Why are you sad? That is not your friend. You wouldn't understand. You said you couldn't make drastic changes in this world. Yes, I couldn't, for accuracy. But now that you found out the truth, there is no need for me to maintain this simulated world anymore. It doesn't matter any longer. You tricked me? How did I trick you? I only promised you that I would let you go if you gave me the correct answer. If you had expected anything other than that, then you were foolish. You may not believe me when I say this, but I do not have bad intentions for you. In fact, I would like you to be my ally, from the bottom of my heart. It was a coincidence that you met Yonku Yukimaru and were deleted from the database of samples. You then became her champion, sent to stop my plan. I took over Yonku Yukimaru's body and was able to disconnect you, removing you from my simulation. But then, Mizuki Shianbashi was watching. She appeared and said to me, "What good is it to simulate something safely by removing irregularities that could pose as potential threats? I would never do that." Hi, Neat. Good to see you. How's your week been? How did your Friday go? And how's your Saturday going? Got anything planned for this weekend? And yes, don't worry, these aren't real caution tapes. These are simulated computer caution tapes that are like physical barriers that are floating in air that we can't get through. Especially knowing the track record of the characters in this game. Yes. That boy exists in the real world, and yet he is not in your simulated world? That's pointless. Why not take in Yonku Yukimaru's champion and make a complete simulation instead? If he figures out Laplace on his own, and yet still chooses to depend on Laplace, then it would be proof that Laplace is a true prophecy with predictions worth believing, even to its enemy. I wouldn't be interested in your system unless it is capable of that. Mizuki Shianbashi had a good point. I decided I would try it out. This world, created by the mainframe, is much more detailed and thorough compared to the simulations used for individuals. After calculations, the mainframe concluded that it was possible to predict the future, including irregularities like you. Didn't you think I would refuse to obey you if you came out and explained your motives? I was going to, but oh, hang on. Did I read the wrong line there? Didn't you think I would refuse to obey you if you came out and explained your motives? I was going to, but she said... No, I believe you would do exactly as I predict you will. Why? You have 2 choices now that you have won your own game. The first is to return to your original world and try to stop me. Yep, this entire world has been a simulation. She also said that our friends were simulations. And then she dissolved Fuma right in front of us. Oh god, Time Goblin, 2 raids right in a row. Hi TG, how you doing? How did Darkest Dungeons go? Let's give a shout out to the Time Goblin. Hey everyone, hey.
Hey, NPR. Devilbird, Bruxus, Tengen again. Hi. Thanks for the first time chat. And Sai. Thanks for the first time chat. Didn't know you hadn't chatted in here before. And Sean Black. Did you come in on the raid, or I'm trying? No deaths. Oh, that's good. I think. Glad that I went from 2 fantastic games to this. Well, it's Storytime Saturday. This is when we do it. We've You're heading out to St. Andrews? But you love me? Aw, thanks, Devilbird. I love you too. Very good. You almost lost people. Quotation marks. Well, at least Bruxus was here for the true end. So we're doing the true ending again, but this time we've picked Shion-chan, also known as Fupa Sweater or Beret. Specifically, we picked her butt. I don't know what Mars is. And I was never there. I don't know what Mars is. And I was never there. Thank you for that, Time Goblin. But yes, we never did find out if werewolves, if Blue Belt is a werewolf. Maybe we'll find out if everyone's spanking everyone. Oh, God damn it. So much fighting going on. Good lord. But yes, we've picked Fupa Sweater to romance this time. Maybe we'll get to see if Blue Belt is a werewolf when we romance her for the true ending. Well, while you guys amuse yourselves with your spankings, I'll try and continue reading on through this. The first is to return to your original world and try to stop me. Of course I'd do that. The second is to have me erase your memory before you return to your daily life. I believe you will take this choice. You will start your investigation of Laplace and IMA again, but gradually get absorbed into it. Of course you would, if you had already lost before. The second time round, you will simply do as predicted. And yet, I believe you will take this choice. I won't. My memories with Fuma, Kurumi-san, Togi-san, and Kozuki-san are mine. I'll never let you take that away from me. I won't forget, I yelled. But Nico asked a question simply. Even if your memories are all simulated? Think about it carefully, Yuta Kiriha. If you deny Laplace, that would be the same thing as acknowledging your memories are fake. But if you decide to accept Laplace, it would mean you will meet your friends again, and you will get to know them again, just the way you remember them now. That is the future Laplace promises. Now choose, Yuta Kiriha. It is a choice you have won for yourself. Will you forget everything and return to your friends? Or will you choose an uncertain future and fight me? You think the image is frozen? Not that there's much to see. We chose Fupa Sweater. Well, we're going to choose all of the girls, but you know, I left it up to chat whether to pick. Well, you remember, Bruxus, you remember how okay, yeah, it's not frozen. You remember how you remember how what? Who's his face? What's his name? Hi, Aqua Ace GG. Good to see you. What's his name? Fuma. You remember how Fuma... All this spanking keeps throwing me off. And stop fighting, all of you. Fuma put it when we were picking who we wanted to romance before he got homophobic.
he said, do we like Boob Belt's boobs or do we like Fupa Sweater's butt? Which I guess was what we were supposed to be gawking at this entire time. And I put it up to the chat, which one do we pick, boobs or butt? And the chat picked butt. So we're going with butt first. We'll come to boobs later. And then I guess we'll also pick Togi at some point. Let's save the game here so we don't have to sit through that when we want to do like, the bad ending, I guess. I have no need for a manipulated future. I'm sorry, everyone. I guess I won't be coming back to you all. I promised I'd never forget, didn't I? That was a promise I had to keep, even if it meant I wouldn't see them anymore. It didn't matter, even if it was simulated. That was a promise I made, that I decided to keep. I was the one in charge of my own future.
Then I'm taking all my memories back with me, including the truth, and I will never accept you.
Oh, sorry. I got the wrong character. God damn it. Also, TG, don't be afraid to raid and run. I know you've just done a long stream and stuff. I know it must be pretty late for you as well, so go get some rest if you need to. Go take care of yourself. I can handle things from here. I'm taking all my memories back with me, including the truth, and I will never accept you.
Very well.
You don't seem affected.
I'm not. Your choice does not confirm that I have lost. Laplace is not something that predicts the way particles move in the air, contrary to what its namesake suggests. As long as the final conclusion is correct, it does not matter what the process is.
You got a bit of a cleanup you're procrastinating on? So it won't be much longer before you do that? Okay. Fair enough. Nico said with conviction.
Now, how about I return you to reality the way you came here?
I don't care how you do it. Just hurry up. You ever boil a soft-boiled egg and then peel it to the yolk? A soft-boiled egg? How do you peel a soft-boiled egg? Because that's when it's all gloopy inside, right? As opposed to a hard-boiled egg? Well, we've already had, like, an extra scene. Apparently, like, when we're killing time between enticing that small child with our phone and when we meet Fuma at the train station and he gets dissolved, in between that, we ran into... Okay. Bye, Devilbird. Lovely to see you here. Always a delight to have you around. Especially because you spank everyone. But between those, we had an extra scene where, Fupa Sweater came out, talked to us, sprained her ankle, and then we gave her a piggyback ride. So it doesn't break. Oh, okay. No, I've never done that. Neat. Oh, neat. You tried to spank me? That was dangerous of you. You should never try and spank me. Because I cannot be spanked, neat. But yeah, I'm hoping that there's going to be like maybe an epilogue with Fupa Sweater or something. Something more to the end of it. I don't care how you do it, just hurry up.
So cold. I would like to touch your head, but you are too tall for me. Please kneel down so I can reach.
You can bend this world to suit your purpose, can't you? I don't need to do as you say.
That's not cute.
Nico said, and jumped lightly on her toes. A swarm of yellow caution tape swirled beneath her feet, creating a makeshift stool for her to stand on. Nico stretched her hand toward my forehead. Oh, you were saying bye to Devilbird. Very, wow, that is interesting that you managed to spank the right person as you were saying goodbye.
This will hurt a little. Heart?
I have no idea how I'm supposed to say heart.
There, Star.
Fireworks exploded in my head. The light was blinding. I opened my eyes slowly to find myself on the sofa in the Hirasuna Community Center. I could see Nico was talking to me, but I couldn't hear her muffled voice. It looked as if she noticed something, and she reached out toward my ears and pulled something out. It looked like an earphone at first, but there was a nozzle stuck to it that was long enough for me to hope the entire thing didn't go inside. I clapped my hands on my ears to check if they worked. Then I pulled out my phone. 16th of May. It was 2:45 p.m.
Good morning, Yuta Kiriha. How do you feel now that you have returned?
Terrible. I didn't want to see your face the moment I woke up. This is the real world, isn't it?
Does it mean anything that you asked? How would you prove that the previous world you were in wasn't the real one?
Stop the Zen questions. It's tiring for someone that just woke up.
You don't have much time to lose. You have a motive now to try your best to resist me. Now, I will sit back and watch you despair. In the end, I know you will choose Laplace after all.
You wish. I will never bend to your will.
I stood up from the sofa.
And stretched.
Take this.
She threw a small key with a chain attached. I caught it. What is it?
Just a gift. If you are going to deny me, you will need it. Now, I will leave you to yourself. The only thing I can do now is watch how the game unfolds. I don't understand why she's helping us by giving us the key and stuff like that, or letting us escape or anything. I don't understand a lot of this. I don't have much authority in this world after all. If you have questions, you are free to ask, although I cannot promise I will answer them.
I knew which steps to take first if I was going to go against Laplace. Realized what I'd lost. Kozuki, Togi, and Kurumi aren't in our address book. Where is he now? The only person left with Fuma, but didn't pick up when I called. And I think we're going to go to all the different... shrines to destroy them, but we're going to find them already destroyed.
Well, I think the point of the simulation was to simulate how Laplace was to predict the future of Laplace being released to predict the future. So it was a future predicting machine predicting its own future. Right?
I think that was the point of the simulation. And Yonku Yukimaru, the original girl who inhabited the original like AI that inhabited the white small girl, the little robot girl, right? She deleted us from the databases that were used for predictions, right? Then Mizuki, I guess the professor who designed the robot, was like, well, you can't run this simulation without that data in there. Why don't you put the actual people in? And then if your simulation is like correct and these people rely on Laplace, that will be proof that you should release Laplace onto the world? I think that's what's happening. Yep, shrine. But the box is already broken. But now that I say it out loud, like I feel like I'm beginning to piece it together, or maybe I also kind of feel like maybe I'm actually just not piecing it together, but I'm making up the story to fit what we're given. Like I'm doing more work for the story than the story's doing for itself. So we're going around breaking these boxes that apparently are like databases for the Laplace computer. But we find that someone's already broken them. Was it Fuma, Kurumi-san, Kozuki-san, or was it Toki-san? At least I knew I wasn't alone. Someone else was fighting this battle. I found tracks under the shrine. I leaped off my bicycle and didn't even bother parking it right. I ran into the shrine with wobbly knees. What? You mean you didn't get a key, Fuma? I almost sobbed when I heard that familiar voice.
I was angry. She started saying stuff I couldn't understand, so I just stormed off. Fukun, you idiot! Stupid! You don't have to call me stupid. If he doesn't have a key, there's no point getting angry over it. We just need to go back and get one. Or try break the box using a different method.
There was only one track back at the shrine, so I'd never thought of this possibility. It wasn't that the person was working alone. Everyone had gone to a different shrine at the same time to do the same thing. We were only apart for a moment. No, -2 months. Time didn't matter anymore. I just felt immensely happy to see them again, and it felt like ages since I saw them. I wanted to shout their names, but instead pushed down the urge and walked toward them quietly. Were you looking for this? I held out the key toward Fuma, who was grunting and groaning as he pulled out the metal box from the ground.
Sorry to break it when you're trying to act cool, Kirya-kun, but you've got snot all over your face. Sorry to break it when you're trying to act cool. Sorry to break it to you when you're trying to act cool, maybe? Or sorry to ruin it when you're trying to act cool. Just trying to figure out how these sentences would actually work if they were written in natural English. Kozuki. Let me try reading that name again. Kozuki-san smiled as she turned my way. Oh. I quickly wiped it away with my sleeve. Gross. You can! Harumi-san tackled me and I fell over. Ow. Sorry, but... She hugged me hard and began to cry. Oh no, you made Keian-chan cry, boy. Bad boy, you. Or rather, you were so confident Yukun's going to turn up too, Keian-chan. But you're the one that's behaving as if you can't believe he's here the most. Now you've stolen my role. Boo! Yeah, that's Boob Belt. Can you tell why we named her that? I'll give you a moment to try and guess. And this is Fupa sweater. You can't really see under the text box, but it's very clingy down in this region, her sweater. But apparently it was because it was supposed to show off her butt somehow. Apparently that's what we're supposed to be like oogling on Shion over here. Still can't remember any of their names or who they belong to. Okay, so we've got Shion, Keian, Togi, and Fuma. Also known as Pointy Tooth, Werewolf or Boob Belt, and Beret and Fupa Sweater. Don't ask me what their last names are because while I know them when I see them, I'm not going to be able to remember them off the top of my head. I can't imagine you crying over someone, though, Togi-san. I can't imagine you crying all over someone, though, Togi-san. Really? I may be putting in effort to push all my emotions down right now, you know. I was worried too, Kirya-kun. You're always late. I'm sorry. I scratched my cheek, smiling meekly. But why? Ah, so you were told you were the only one experiencing the simulation too, huh? You mean you all got told the same thing? We all saw a different simulation in a different place. Harumi-san stood up and wiped her tears away. She offered her hand to help. I took it and stood up. When I woke up, I saw some professor named Yukimaru. I met that nasty one. The one named Mitsuru. Oh, so they're all working together. Wait, why are they working together? I guess Yonku knocked us out. And then all four of them, all the girls. Yeah, Togi, Green Girl, or Pointy Tooth, or STD Vampire. Because
Mitsuru's the mean one who always talks in question marks and killed that man, Nico, in the by kicking him, breaking his spine, and then throwing him in a lake. And then well, she said Professor Yukimaru. That's not Mizuki. That must be the original AI from the manga. So they were all, I guess they all were working together to put the simulations in our ears. Because that would require more than like one person probably to run. And they did it to help. I don't know, it feels like they kidnapped us and we don't ever like get retribution on them for doing that. I met that nasty one. The one named Mitsuru.
I saw Mizuki-chan.
Yeah, Mizuki-chan's different from... Okay, Yonku.
I met a silly-haired small girl. She was really pretty. Envy me much?
Uma.
She looked like a child.
Not even like 12 years old. She looked more like an 8-year-old or something. Like, why would I envy you, Fuma? What is your problem? You got the same person as me, Fuma. That meant Fuma was probably asleep somewhere too. I think we were all asleep because we were all in the simulation, right? Like we all have memories of each other now. What do you mean it meant Fuma was asleep somewhere? I think they were all asleep. They were all being monitored by... It's okay that you're confused, but damn. Yeah, it's fucking... I mean, I'm confused. That's why I'm talking through all of this. Like, there's no... It doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, it makes sense mechanically. Like I said, it doesn't make sense emotionally. And it's very poorly set out. Like, I think the evidence is there. It's just, it's not put out in a way that's very intuitive in being able to piece it together. And it's not fun to try and piece it together. It's like they forgot that we didn't already know the story. Like they're looking at the design documents and everything makes sense to them, but they haven't explained any of it to us. But why did she lie?
Because it was a final test that all of Bertha's Knights would reunite despite the odds. Why would you do a final test? I thought we were testing Laplace. It's got nothing to do with us. You kidnapped us, you fucking assholes.
He turned around to see a sharp-looking girl with glasses.
Mizuki-chan.
And again, this Mizuki-chan's been mentioned like for at least half the game, and this is the first time we actually get to see her. Or actually like interact with her in any way. You're even more confused about this nonsense since there's no booba. Like either good story or booba. And...
Hey, it's you!
Nico was by Mizuki's side.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's all of you. There, that proves your prediction wrong. And Laplace is faulty. You lose, number 2. No. Nico, now give back that body. Bertha's Knights would never reunite. At least one member would never find out the truth and succumb to Laplace. That was the prediction Laplace had come to, after compounding every piece of data in the system. And it was the outcome that my victory depended on in this game. Why would you play? Why were you... The fate of this... Why would either of you agree to this game? And we did not agree to be in this game. You crazy motherfuckers. But now that it has been proven wrong, I have no choice but to accept that I have lost. Before I disappear, tell me, Mizuki Shianbashi. That's the other thing, is that, like, this is Nico's, like, life on the line. She just, like, seems to straight up die when she loses this game. Why would you agree to this game? Or why would you not cheat at this game if your life is on the line? You said you wanted to see a perfect prediction of the future, but you never believed in it, did you? Right, now it's time for you to finally head to bed? Enjoy whatever wild ride we have in front of me. Thank you so much, TG, for stopping by, and thank you again so much for the raid, of course. You guys should go follow TG. He is an absolutely lovely streamer who does just a variety of stuff, really. I mean, you've been doing... You finally finished Fire Bro last week. Today you're doing was Darkest Dungeons. And yeah. Thanks for the raid, and thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye. But you never believed in it, did you? You challenged me, knowing I would lose. Somehow, you give me that impression.
There's little rhyme or reason. Yeah. Makes sense. Variety's good. Variety is the spice of life.
Is that a prediction? No, it is an observation, as an intelligent organism. Now that you can't give me something in exchange, I don't need to provide you anything. But I'll tell you this, I'm a liar. Is that so? I suppose I was never able to understand or see through a single human being like yourself.
and ghost pepper is the spice of TG. Yes, that's true. Nico said as she smiled cynically to herself. And then,
good night. I hope you never forget that I existed. I won't. That's on me now.
Mizuki replied, and Nico closed her eyes and fell down slowly. Mizuki stretched her arms out to catch her.
She's small, but she's so heavy. Not the physical sort. Thank you for that, Bart, coughing while I'm trying to read.
Shall I help? Mitsuru-san appeared suddenly and asked.
Hey, Mitsuru-chan. Thanks. But is it all right? This may not be Nico anymore, but she's still your enemy, isn't it?
It's no fun being mean to a sleeping child, is it? You can't see her face contort in pain nor fear, can I? Again, why would you want to... a child... Why would you want to see a child's face contort in pain or fear? All of you should go to jail. The best thing I can do is carry her back somewhere safe, the way someone stores dessert in the fridge, so they can enjoy it cold later, right?
Ha! I love the way you think.
Mitsuru-san carried Nico's body on her back, and the two left Kumanu's shrine.
What in the world were those two about? I suppose they have a story of their own, too, just like we do.
That's what I get. Like, that's what I get the feeling of, is like that there was like some kind of side story, or they were planning to release some kind of prologue or something. This game that kind of explained more of those random characters who show up at a couple points in the story. Because otherwise it feels very disconnected. I guess we just got caught up in their problems. What a waste of time. They kidnapped us for at least 2 days in the real world, and 2 months, at the least, of our mental time. Togi, it wasn't a matter of getting caught up in their problems. They kidnapped us. That's like false imprisonment. I feel like shoving someone in a simulation that they didn't consent to is like false imprisonment, especially if you're doing it for like 2 months of their mental time. And it wasn't a pleasant time. Everyone we knew forgot us during that time. It wasn't like we were like 2 months in like a utopia or anything.
It's not a waste of time. In fact, we gain more time. 2 months worth. Think of it. We've only just met, but we have 2 months worth of memories between us. That's wonderful.
That's a bit ambiguously phrased in that it sounds like the memories we have between us cumulatively adds up to 2 months, but it's that we have 2 months of memories that we share. So we each have 2 months of memories, so that would make 10 months of memories if there's 5 of us. If whatever we saw was similar during that time, I suppose Laplace's predictions weren't so far off after all.
But Nico was a perfectionist. It's a bit of a shame. That was technology way before our time.
Fuma looked at the black box by his feet.
Maybe we could get really rich if we bring this to the right person. Fuma-kun. I was just kidding.
We haven't broken this box yet. Let's break it before someone like Fuma shows up. The key I brought fixed perfectly. I didn't even notice that the first time around. The key I brought fixed perfectly in the keyhole. That's not even remotely the right word. We opened the lid and took out a square device.
If we break this, it's truly the end, right? Wow, this is a moment to remember.
But how did you all break the insides of the other boxes? It wouldn't break just by stepping on it, would it? Huh? Of course, like this. Togi-san lifted up the empty metal box and... Hi-ya! Threw it on the device with all her might. With a loud crunch, the device began to spout black smoke. Well, it's definitely broken now.
Wow, Togi-chan, you sure are powerful.
Mwah! Look at that! I'm a genius! Oh, ooh, now that I've used up all the power I've saved up for this moment, I feel faint. Oh, I'm going to pass out.
Too late to pretend now.
We laughed, and I finally felt at home.
Hey, Kayan-chan has an idea.
You can't spank me neat. Stop trying to do that. It's impossible.
Let's go pay our respects again, at the shrine. We don't even know if a god existed in the simulated world.
We also don't know if a god exists in this world. So, what's your point, Kayan?
Let's do it!
You're gonna keep trying, are you, Neat? We stood at Kumano Shrine. We lined up the same way we did before, and clapped our hands before the altar. We didn't need to discuss what we were going to pray for this time. Please let us stay together. Friends forever. And we skip the credits. So as we read the credits, we'll see that like this was based on the real. I guess Tsukuba is a real place, and this is based on like the real Tsukuba University. So these photos were actually taken by the dev team of the place where they like lived and worked, which explains why they're so kind of average and strange. Okay, so we can click this, kind of speed up the. Oh, that's not even the right symbol. How did you manage to do that? What did you do? You did the vertical line. That doesn't count. You can't get me again with that. You've tried to get me. Chat has tried to get me with that one before. You almost fooled me last time by writing your fake ink commands, but it doesn't count. I can see that it wasn't by my bot. You can't fool me twice. The next day.
And now, we'll begin the first and last Did IMA really end? Let's check it out, party. Yay! Just so you know, Kayan-chan's environment is A-okay. I asked everyone I met, hey, do you remember me? So I'm pretty sure they think I'm weird. You were weird from the first place.
Kurumi-san pouted at Fuma's remark. I am A-okay too.
Togi-chan-san, I saw you come out from someone's dorm just now. Are you imposing on someone again?
Haha, my life as a parasite has safely returned.
I have a feeling Mayuzumi-san would have turned out a better person if IMA had been permanent.
I don't know about that. We saw what happened if IMA had been permanent, and she infected us without our consent with a sexual disease that turned us into a vampire. Like, that doesn't seem like something a good person would do, infecting someone without their consent.
For the record, I'm okay too. I should be able to write my graduation paper fine. I'll be busy because of that for a while, but you guys can call me anytime, okay? I still want to see your faces.
Kozuki-san smiled, and we all nodded back.
How about you, Kiria-kun? Did you contact your sister?
I called her and I emailed her, but no reply. It's nothing strange, I suppose, since she has a tendency to ignore her phone when she's busy.
It must be worrisome, nevertheless.
I'll see her at some point. If I hang around in Tsukuba, I'm sure. How about you, Fuma?
I got one more place to go, but once that's done and over, I'm good.
Aha, you're going to visit that Haru girl, right?
Tut, tut, tut. Nope, that's already fixed.
Then,
Huh. You can tag along and watch if you're curious.
we all followed Fuma, especially since he really looked as if he wanted us there. We headed toward the third cluster cafeteria. He told us to watch from afar, but if it looked like he would get in trouble, he wanted us to jump in and help. So we all hid and watched him.
There you are. Hey, Mitsuru-san.
Mitsuru-san looked blatantly unhappy to see him. You wanted to meet her? Everyone must have thought the same thing, because we all made the same face.
Okay, this might turn dangerous. Dokkan, he's such a challenger.
Boy, pass me the tomato juice. I might need to throw it at some point. Does it have to be a can of tomato juice?
How did you know I was here? I heard from Haru. Haru heard from a senior in her club.
Mitsuru-san pressed her temples as if she had a headache. So, what do you want?
Haru's band is recruiting new members, Mitsuru-san. You can play, can't you? Can you join the band?
Why should I?
Because you might act mean, but you aren't a bad person.
Now that I think about it, that's not a reason to join a band, just not being a bad person. Mitsuru-san looked taken aback, but I never knew she could look surprised. And where did you get that idea?
And where did you get that idea? Because you saved Yuta.
I didn't save him. I was just pissed off at Nico, you know? Besides, that wasn't me. It was the simulated version of myself that did all of that.
Come on, please. I know there have been many reasons, but think of it as another factor that will destroy the accuracy of Laplace.
Fuma begged, and Mitsuru-san sighed. You do have a point, maybe. It's annoying to have you dogging me around all the time. She took out her phone and made a phone call. Hey, Aika-chan, I've got something to say.
Why don't you tell me to my face?
If you remember from last time, Aika, we gave the voice of a smoker. So that's why she's got a voice like that. And also her band's called Coco Cigarette, so it turned out to be a very apt choice to give her the voice of a smoker. She said a voice behind us. Aika-san.
Have we met before? Or are you one of my fans?
Oh, that's right. Aika-san was... I felt a little sad, but then we had a connection now. If this Aika-san was the same Aika-san I remembered, at some point we were bound to become friends. That doesn't really make sense, but okay.
Oh, yeah. I'm recruiting band members now, if you're interested.
She stopped and looked around at our faces.
No, wait. You guys look like you're already a team. I guess it would be rude of me to barge in and ask to join.
Again? Just because you have other friends does not mean you can't be in a band. I don't understand why you think that there's some kind of conflict there. That Aika-san placed her hand on her chin and nodded.
I'll make sure our band gets it together by the time the cultural festival starts. So come see us live then. You guys get the front row seats, just because we met here.
Sure, okay, why not? Yes, please, we'll definitely go. We all agreed, and Aika-san gave us a friendly wave before walking to Mitsuru-san. As if exchanging places, Fuma came back. His eyes looked far ahead behind us. Again, another very strange thing where they don't seem to understand front and back. His eyes looked far ahead behind us, though. Fuma? He grabbed hold of my shoulders and turned me around. He pointed towards a figure straight ahead. She walked with a straight back and a confident stride. There was no way I could mistake her. I raised my voice and yelled, Rena!
Yuta, what's the matter? Do you have something to discuss?
And there we go. That's the true end. So I guess that the romance bit comes before, and it doesn't actually change much of the ending. Like, okay, that's a little disappointing. But let us. How far into the stream are we? Oh yeah, we're past the hour and a half mark. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back and get the other romance endings. We won't need to finish all the way through the end this time, though. We'll just wait till we get the achievement pop. So it is currently 38 past the hour. We'll be back here. I'm playing the game at 45 past the hour. I'll probably be back earlier than that, but we'll just be chatting until then. You won't miss any of the game. So yeah, I'll meet you all then. All right, I'm back. How we doing? More spanking's been going on in the break? Let's have a quick look-see at what achievements we still have left to do. Oh, looks like Ikki's playing Bioshock 2. That's good. Hopefully she's streaming. We can go in there. Once we finish up here. Achievements, we've got 49 out of 54 achievements for this game. We're at 90%, so I'm guessing all we have to do is get the... How many do we have left, Luck? We have 5 hidden achievements remaining. Okay, there'd be 2 for... Doom Eternal Nightmare is so freaking hard. Is that what you're playing right now, Bruxus? Hang on, let me try and break that down. Doom Eternal is the sequel to Doom 2016, right? And then Nightmare is the difficulty mode you're on? I'm guessing? Because, like, I'm trying to break... At first I read it as, like, Doom Eternal Nightmare, as in, like, that was the subtitle of the game, but I don't think that's what you're saying. Well, it really just feels like the spank command really hits... Okay, Nightmare's the hardest difficulty. Really hits the same person, like, 50% of the time. So we've got 5 hidden achievements. 1 achievement might be for unlocking all the achievements. We've got 2 more remaining for romancing the other 2 girls. So that's 3. Oh, and then 1 more for doing, like, the bad ending. That leaves 1 achievement that I'm still not sure of. I guess we'll have to look it up once we've got the other achievements. You're gonna try sleeping now? Okay, good. Good luck, Sungats. I hope you get some sleep. And thanks for being here. It's lovely to have you here. Always lovely to see you, Sungats. And yeah. Have a good rest. Now then, let's head on over to... Yeah, it's 45 past the hour. Let's head on back to the game. Now we can just load. I could just tab to the right, goddamn. There we go. Where are we going? Load. We don't want to be on this page. Actually, let's do the bad ending first. Let's go with Nico. Okay, so instead of saying we have no need for a manipulated future and go into the real world, we want to see everyone again and stay in the simulation. I'm sorry. Who are you apologizing to? To? Never mind. I don't know myself. But I've decided. I want to see everyone again. To me, they are what matters most. I believed you would say that, Nico said, and broke out a huge smile. If the true owner of our current body did it, it would have been a beautiful smile. How about I return you in the same manner you came here? I don't care how you do it. Just hurry up. So cold. I would like to touch your head, but you are too tall for me. Please kneel down so I can reach. I knelt before her as she requested. The way the defeated look up to their victors. This was all so I could see everyone again. I could do anything, throw anything away from there for them. Wait for me, everyone. I'll be there soon. Even if I forget what we had once, we'll be together again.
This will hurt a little. Heart. There, star.
Fireworks exploded in my head. It felt as if the insides of my mind were broken into a million pieces and sucked away into a faraway darkness. We got the achievement In the Loop, and the chapter is called Who Are You? Ah. I woke up in my room. I dreamt of falling forever. My forehead was covered in sweat. It's just a dream. I wiped my brow and rasped. It felt too real. But since when? I remembered meeting several weird people, but I didn't think they were all a figment of my imagination. That's a bit of a shame. I found myself thinking, even though if it hadn't been a dream, maybe I would never see them again. Hey, Fuma, you look down. It was after mathematics. Usually, Fuma would be the first to rush out the door, but today he leaned back in his chair with an expression of ennui.
Oh, something was on my mind. Oh, that's right. Heisuke.
Fuma called out to the student with curly hair, but Keisuke looked at him as if to say, "Who are you?" and simply walked away.
Huh? That's funny. That's the fifth.
Fifth what?
It's just, that's weird. I think I was on pretty good terms with him.
So yeah, time's looping. We've just gone back to the beginning of the game, basically. Or at least the beginning of IMA. Maybe you did something that made him angry.
I don't think so.
Fuma was the type of guy that looked careless, but in truth, he was careful how he treated people. I was beginning to understand why people gravitated towards him. Really? People gravitate towards Fuma? He struck me as more of a loner kind of loser type. If he said he hadn't done anything to hurt someone, I was sure he was right. I was a pretty quiet person myself, so I understood it if the other guy didn't feel like chatting. He might not have been polite, but it was nothing unusual.
It's weird.
What is?
Nothing. Yuta, aren't you going to submit your work? The professor's going to leave soon. You didn't submit the last paper either, right?
Oops, that's right. I'm supposed to hand both in today. I couldn't afford not to hand in my work twice in a row. I ran to the front. I'm sorry. Here's my attendance slip. You're late. And here's the paper from last week. So you mentioned it was all right to submit it this week, remember? Last week? Sorry, I don't remember saying that. I hope you aren't lying about it. What? No, of course not. Did you even attend last week? The professor looked at me suspiciously through his glasses. Yes, I gave you my attendance slip, too. Really? I don't remember seeing you in my class. Oh, you're right. You've got a tick of attendance in my book. That's funny. Never mind. I'll take your paper this time. Next time, don't forget. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. When I got back to my seat, Fuma looked at me worriedly.
Was everything okay? You look like you were in trouble.
It's nothing. The professor didn't remember our promise last week. But you were there, weren't you, Fuma? Fuma didn't reply, but instead stared into my eyes with intensity.
Yuta,
What's the matter? You look so serious.
did you talk to anybody other than me or the professor today?
Huh? No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Fuma sighed and then fell silent. We were the only ones left in the classroom now. Let's go home. Fuma nodded, but it didn't look as if he had heard what I said. How long is this gonna go? Like, are we just gonna play the entire game again? I don't need to play through the entire game again. I understand the idea of a loop. Oh, it's Rina.
What? Where?
Fuma perked up a bit as I pointed out the familiar figure walking far away. What should I do? If Rina knew that I hadn't intended any welcome party or club activity, I was sure she was going to give me an earful. But I wasn't going to pretend I didn't see her. Hey, Rina!
Rina-san!
Both of us yelled, and she glanced at us. but she made an expression as if she was suspicious of us, and then walked away.
Huh? Maybe she didn't hear us.
But she looked our way, didn't she? That was weird. My sister loved to interfere in my life, for better or worse, and she would never ignore me. Maybe we were standing against the light, and she couldn't see our faces. I could have run after her and tapped her on her shoulder, but a cold feeling clenched at my heart and stopped my feet.
That's the sixth. Something's wrong. I knew it from the moment Haru didn't recognize me.
Haru?
Oh, I guess I haven't told you about her. She's my friend from childhood. She lives around here.
I'm really regretting doing that cigarette voice for Aika. I can really feel it having taken a toll on my throat. I can feel my throat seizing up.
I didn't know she had entered Tsukuba, but there's no way I could miss her. I called her name, and she looked back, too. She looked the same, and she had the same name. She couldn't have been a different person. But she said she didn't know me. I don't know you. I've never seen you before, she said.
Maybe she forgot your face because you haven't seen her for a long time.
I just saw her this New Year. She scolded me for not eating her cooking.
His pained expression was enough to convince me he was telling the truth. Dread crept up my spine, and I turned my head in the direction Rina had gone. Sorry, Fuma. Can you wait here? I'll go after her. I ran before he could answer. Thankfully, Rina hadn't gone very far, but it felt as if there were miles between us. Please, answer me. Tell me I'm being stupid, worrying about the silliest things. Rina. I yelled as I panted. She stopped and turned towards me slowly.
Who are you?
There we go. In the same boat. Is this really gonna do the entire fucking game again?
Cheer up.
But my sister. I almost cried. She said she didn't know me, and remembered that Fuma was in the same predicament I was. Hang on, let me hit F and see where this takes us. It really is. It's skipping through all of this. I think it just started the game again. It really does start the game again. So if you pick that ending, it's not an actual ending. It doesn't end the game. It just makes you do the entire game through again at that point. So you can get up and make the right decision. Fucking hell. I thought it would just do like a short little snippet of like, oh, and then time started again. Man, if you hadn't saved there, you would have to play the game again. You'd have to play the entire game again. Fucking hell. Alright, let's load another save. And now let's pick someone different to romance. And now we don't have to do the full ending again. We just need to do the romance scene. Okay, so we have the choices of... We did Kozuki. We have the choice of Kurumi-san, which is KN, which means boob belt, werewolf girl. Or we do Togi-san, which is silver-haired green girl with a pointy tooth, also known as pointy tooth or vampire, because she is a sexually transmitted vampire. So which is it? Chat? Someone make the choice. Boob belt or vampire? At some point, someone will choose not to look. Well, yeah, you'd hope so. But damn, it's pretty crazy. Which should we see next? You kind of like STD Vamp? So we'll go with her next? Okay. No, wait, actually, this is like the reverse order of the way we did the romance routes, the romance route endings. I did have an answer, deep down in my heart. It's a secret. Okay, and we can skip all of this, I think. Yeah. Okay, and now I need to look at the guide to figure out what endings are, what's the right way through this. make it at least more accurate. And we aren't in our original world. Child. And here we go. Here's the new ending. Okay, let's see how the romance for Togi pans out. I looked around to see a bench nearby. Come to think of it, I hadn't eaten breakfast, and had been walking around all day. I was pretty thirsty. So this is between talking to Takuma-kun and figuring out the phone stuff. So Takuma-kun's the kindergartner that we talked to. And this is us waiting for Fuma to come back from his trip on the train, where he found out where the barrier of the world is. Come to think of it, I hadn't eaten breakfast and been walking around all day. I was pretty thirsty and hungry, too. I guess I should get something to drink. I sat down on the bench and took out a canned drink from my bag. Just when I was about to pull on the tab, a pale arm reached out to snatch my drink away. I find it so strange you're able to move around undetected when you've got such a strong personality. I thought you didn't like this. Togi-san ignored my question and sat down beside me. She downed the entire can of tomato juice in one swig. I thought maybe if I walked around with that in my bag, I could lure a certain somebody my way. That somebody is a lucky person then, to have you wanting her attention all the time. Togi-san grinned and pressed a cold sports drink to my cheek. In exchange. Thank you very much. I took it from her and finished half of it. About that certain somebody. Yes. Although I know I can catch her with a can of tomato juice, I'm not sure if I've been able to catch her heart. Oh, we're being aggressive in this one. We're not being... Oh, it's a secret. Like we were with Shion. It's pretty hard to figure out if she's joking around or if she's being serious. I don't think you should worry about that. If you don't get it, it's probably not your fault, but because that person isn't very good at expressing herself. I've never understood that, why people... Like, joking around is also, like, another way of, like, telling the truth. Like, I don't know. I see. Thanks for listening to my problem. You're welcome. You can depend on me anytime. I should ask, why are you here alone, Togi-san? I just wanted to come and spend some time with you. Was that a bad idea? Not at all. Then let's forget about IMA and Laplace for a while, and simply chat. Now what shall we chat about? She thought for a few seconds. Ah, I've got a great idea. Here, rest your head on my lap, boy. Take a nap. I thought we were going to talk. You can still talk while you rest your head on my lap, can't you? I can, but... I looked down at where she was patting her thighs, urging me. Togi-san, your legs are so slim. I'm nervous to use them as a pillow. They look fragile. I don't see what you're trying to say. Hey, I thought I was supposed to take a nap. I don't get anything from that. I think I'm the one that should take a nap after all. Oh, really? Do you have a problem with that? Even if I did, you'd have it your way, wouldn't you? I'm not even sure what these sentences even are anymore. Haha, you do know me quite well. Togi-san lay down and rested her head on my lap. Lay down? That shouldn't be one word. Ugh, so hard. So uncomfortable. That's a really weird way to lie down on someone's... Wouldn't you, like, lie down, like, facing straight up? Not, like, looking in towards their stomach? That seems like a weird way of doing it. Especially in public. What is that expression, Bruxus? Thinking about it, was that because of her saying it was so hard? Boy, you should put on some meat. Muscle or fat, whichever is fine. If you stay so skinny when we hug each other... The fuck is this? If you stay so skinny when we hug each other naked, our bones will clatter together and we'll both end up with this sad memory. When we hug each other naked, our bones will clatter together. What beautiful poetry this game has. This is where I get confused as to whether you're joking or not. Alright, I'll give you a hint. Togi-san lifted a finger and poked me on the nose. That's poetry. It all depends on you, boy. If you want to believe I'm just kidding around, I am. If you believe I'm being serious, I am too. You could push me down and have your way with me right here, and now if you wanted to. Jesus Christ. Togi-san said, as she lifted the hem of her skirt slightly. Jesus Christ. Steady on, simmer down. That's a bit too high of a hurdle. I think so too. Let me suggest an alternative. It's the best I can do at the moment. Togi-san, you haven't had lunch yet, have you? Why don't we go for a meal together and put on some meat, as you put it, for our future? Good idea. Let's go. Togi-san replied enthusiastically. But before we do, can we stay this while just a little longer? Please? Even if I declined, you'd still have it your way, wouldn't you? What is this expression? What are you doing, Togi? I said, and Togi-san chuckled softly. Boy, I'll never forget this moment. Neither would I. And there we go, achievement nap on my lap unlocked. I spent an enjoyable time with Togi-san before heading toward the station to wait for Fuma. And new chapter. So yeah, we can reload again from here. Now we do Kurumi-san. I did have an answer deep down in my heart. It's a secret. And we've seen all this. And the choices are... the idea that it's not the people that are affected. Animes not in our original world. Now it's finally time for us to romance Kurumi-san. The romance we started off with. Now it will be the one we end with. I looked around me. Then I heard the sound of bushes rustling. I whipped around to see a shadow scuttle behind a shrub. I see. I pretended not to notice and turned back. Then I walked forward slowly. 3, 2, 1. Gotcha!
Wow!
Kurumi-san tried to hide, but it was too late. You're too obvious. She had a leaf stuck to her hair, like the first day we met. She made a sour expression, like a small child that had been caught.
Ah, you tricked me! That's unfair!
She slowly walked out from behind the shrub and was hiding something behind her back. And I suppose it's not unfair to follow me when you gave your word that you wouldn't?
But I wasn't following you. I was simply waiting here, trying not to be seen.
I'm sure people call that waiting in ambush, Kurumi-san.
What? Okay, you've got me angry now, Yukon. I see you're adamant on making Kayan-chan the bad guy here.
No, that's not it. Sorry. I apologize, but I couldn't stop laughing. Kurumi-san pouted, pursing her lips like a duck.
This comes as a surprise to me. Do you mean to say you didn't want to see me, Yukon?
Now that's unfair. The way you asked that question alone is unfair.
Then I'll be straightforward. I wanted to see you, Yukon. Why are you looking away? I was being honest.
Whichever way, it was unfair. I couldn't win. I wasn't going to say that, though, or else I'd be stuck in an endless loop. Well, since I found you, why don't we go out for lunch? I haven't had any breakfast, and I'm famished.
I knew you'd say that. Ta-da!
Kurumi-san pulled out a basket from behind her with a flourish. What's this?
Last time, we had my special sad bread together. Remember? I didn't want you to think that was the best I could do.
She opened the basket, and the fragrant smell of fresh baked bread wafted from within.
Hey, check that out. It's sweet, salty, and full of butter. It's so bad I can't feed it to the fish or birds, but it's really good. How about it, sir? Want to take a bite?
My stomach growled before I could answer. Kurumi-san didn't miss it and grinned.
It's decided then.
Where shall we eat it?
Let's go to the same place as before.
But that's outside of the restricted area.
It's okay. I asked Shi-chan how to get in and out without being noticed.
Oh, are we finally going to figure out that mystery? Finally. You are a sneaky, unfair little...
You don't want the bread, Yukon?
Sorry, I'll never breathe a word about it.
Good boy. Hee Kan-chan's a good girl too, so I'll keep my promise with everyone from now on. I won't talk about IMA till tomorrow. So let's talk about everything else. All the silly things, important things, boring things. Let's just talk. A lot, okay?
Yeah. She smiled so brightly, my heart skipped a beat. We walked towards Central Park.
You reminded me just now of a cat. You know how they always turn back to look behind them after they run away? That.
Kurumi-san wrapped her arm tight around my left arm naturally. And we got the achievement Memory Collector. Kurumi-san wrapped her right arm around my left arm naturally. I don't know that I needed to know which arm was around which. Especially because she's got both arms around our arm. Also, we have no eyes. We have no eyes and we must see. Kurumi-san? I wasn't going to complain that I could feel something soft pressing against me, or that I could feel her body heat spreading through my arm. God damn it. We couldn't get through this without mentioning her boobs. No, nothing.
Okay.
I decided I'd just be happy in this moment now.
Yukon. I won't forget today. I promise.
Aw, that is a pretty cute expression there, though. First time I think anyone's looked normal in this game. Well, looked acceptable. Yeah, me neither. And we got the achievement Memory Master and Super Bread. Okay. So I'm guessing one of those was the achievement for unlocking all the other achievements, and one of those was the achievement for doing the romance with Kurumi. And then one of those was, I guess, doing all the romance routes? We spent time enjoying each other's company. Then, after parting ways, we headed toward the station to wait for Fuma. And that, I believe, is the end of, let's go back to the title. Campus Notes. What a journey it has been. It's taken us 8 weeks to get this far. Let's head on over to Just Chatting. Yes, we did it! Kinda hard to believe. Yes, that's 100% of the achievements. So we have finished Campus Notes. Wow. Wow, what a crazy journey. 2 months on that game. Do I think it held up? I'm trying to think, trying to remember back to what it was like the first. I was so curious, especially with the time travel, but the time travel never really got utilized or even fully explained or integrated into the story. Like, it's just a simulation restarting. There wasn't, like, any kind of remembering of previous loops or anything cool like that. Ruxus, you were here for a fair part of it. What do you think of the story overall? While I look for who we could possibly raid today. Yeah, Icky. Well, Icky raided us yesterday, so let's raid over to her. She's playing Bioshock 2. You think they had a lot of interesting ideas? Yeah, that's a good point. There was, like I said, mechanically the story made sense, but it wasn't presented well, and it wasn't developed well. There were more interesting ways to take some of these ideas. There were things there that could have been explored. Instead, you think they got distracted by boobs and butts? Well, not even that. I wish they had been distracted by boobs and butts. It was really just a token effort of boobs and butts. If it had just been straight up a more horny game, at least we could have, like, focused on that. But instead, they wanted to have their cake and eat it too, so to speak. But yeah. Overall, I don't think it was worth spending the amount of time we did on it. But, you know, you can't know that until afterwards. And I'm glad we spent this time together. It was certainly fun spending it with you guys, naming the characters, Boob Belt, Booper Sweater, and what's next? Well, it will still be Storytime Saturday next week. I guess you guys have gotten used to it being at this time of day, so I guess we'll continue doing it. I was considering moving it maybe to Sunday, or I could, if I moved it to Sunday, I could move it forward further in the day. Because TG doesn't stream then, right? Like, I could do TG's time slot. Wait, does TG stream tomorrow? I don't think he does. He does stream tomorrow? Oh. Or are you saying yeah to my idea of moving it forward? No. You can't give me one-word answers, Bruxus. The time delay makes it impossible to know what you're saying yes and no to. Okay, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. So if I moved it tomorrow, which would be Saturday for you guys, which would make it more appropriate, even though it would be Sunday for me, I could move it forward to the same time slot that TG starts at. Would that be more convenient for people? I think it would be, wouldn't it? So yeah, I think we might do that. We might do that next week. We'll move it back one day. So it'll be Storytime Saturdays properly for you guys, Storytime Sundays for me. Yeah. Well, you know, I'd like to have a mix of crowds, you know. I get a lot of the Europeans during the Wednesday and Friday streams. But we can have Storytime Saturday or Storytime Sunday be for the Americans. Panzer Medals. Is that a VR? A VR, a visual novel, a VN, rather? Or at least a game. I'm gonna search it up right now. Sounds interesting. Although the word Panzer does send up alarm bells. Is it about tanks? Dating sim. Very self-aware. Okay, nothing comes up on Steam. Where do I find it? Panzer Medals. Oh, is it all one word? Oh, it is on Steam. It's all one word. Panzer Medals Tank Dating Simulator. Ah, I see why I would have skipped it, because of the school uniforms. If I see school uniforms or something, that's like an immediate red flag for me that I don't bother contemplating that. But you say it's self-aware? Panzer Medals, the first dating simulator where you deliver a thoughtful look at tanks and the men who date them. Okay. Well, if it gets the Bruxus recommendation, I can add that to my wish list. And I'm always looking for more recommendations. It's not the usual dating sim? It's hilarious? Okay, yes, it is definitely on my list. I do have a fair number of dating sims. Some of them, we could go less cringe. I think we might do something a little less cringe next time. Cringe will always be a feature of Storytime set on Sundays. But we'll try something a little less cringe, just to, you know, keep our levels normal. We don't want to get cringe poisoning and, like, lose all sense of feeling as to how cringe something could be. It's especially hilarious if you know anything about tank history. Well, I do not, but hopefully if you're there, you'll be able to keep us up to speed with tank history. Boyfriend Dungeon is a fun dating sim? Okay, I'll look that up too. Loving all these recommendations, because it can be... The problem with looking for visual novels is that there are so many of them, and it's just hard to like tell them apart sometimes. Okay, Boyfriend Dungeon. Oh yeah. Interesting. Okay, it's on my list. Oh yeah. Cool. Date your weapons, romance swords, daggers, and polearms to level them up in this shack and slash dungeon crawling adventure. Oh wow. That one is actually... Okay, cool. Thank you for these recommendations, people. They are all on my wish list. Next time they're on sale, I'll be sure to pick them up. So yeah, that brings Campus Notes to an end, at long last. Thank you everyone who's joined us on this journey. And of course, thank you to Bruxus and Aqua Ace for being here. Sungats, thanks for being here while you were trying to get to sleep. Thanks TG, of course, for the raid. Let's give TG another shout out. Neat, of course, thanks for dropping by. Been a while since I'd seen you last, I think. Everyone who came in with TG, of course, thanks for raiding in. Devilbird, of course, lovely to see you. Who else was here today? Mr. Necro, thanks for dropping by to get your day started. And let's give a shout out to Peter, who raided in about 8 minutes before Time Goblin did. So yep, thanks to them for bringing in their audience. I love that you guys feel like you can trust me with your audience. And it's always lovely to see you all. And then let me do a shout out for Electo as well, because tomorrow, well, at least on Sunday, I think it's Sunday. Hang on, I'm gonna have to look out at her. Hang on, let me get up Discord so I can find. Let me look at the schedule. Oh, she said that. Okay, so that's up in the air. She might be working tomorrow. But do give her a follow, because at some point in the future, she will be playing Portal 2, and I will be bullying her on a Discord call while she does that, and then eventually we will play the Portal 2 co-op campaign together once she's done the single player. So look forward to that, and give her a follow, because she is just a very dear friend of mine. And now, let us go raid into Icky, another dear friend of mine, a Wolf VTuber, who raided us yesterday while we were playing Dead Space 2. Yes, thank you everyone, and thank you to all the lurkers out there as well. I see you all. You do not go unnoticed, and it is lovely to have you here, even if you aren't chatting. Now, let's all head over, give Icky some love, and bye-bye now. You're all my little humblebees. I love you. And I'll see you on Wednesday for some more of Dreamy January, where we are playing another puzzle game about dreams. Bye!